Disclaimer: this fictional serial will contain mature subject matters, including but not limited to the subject of drug use. This story does not seek to glorify addiction or drug use. It is a horror story that, like many such fictional material, explores dark themes. The Crimson Hound is meant to be a flawed anti-hero, and the viewer is not meant to agree with everything he does. Also keep in mind that in a serialized format, the whole story will be told over many episodes, so one single episode will not be a good representation of the completed story. Feedback is always welcome in the comments.
Okay. As you're picking up the coins and whatnot, there's also some more drugs over there. If you want, are you going to basically take everything that you can, or what do you want to do?
If I recognize some Vex, I'll take it because of the whole ghosting thing. But beyond that, like where it might be really necessary sometimes, he's gonna start avoiding these things.
Sure. Okay, yeah. So all told, you find about 12. You find 12 more doses of Geist.
Oh, okay, Geist, I just leave there. Yeah.
All right, and you find 10 more doses of Vex, rather.
Okay, very well. And okay, so I have 28 in total. And how many gold pieces were on the table?
Good question. Let's roll that up. All right, so there's going to be 15 more gold pieces on the table.
Okay, very well.
All right, now as you're looting the table and whatnot, go ahead and make a wisdom roll.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so 14 or less.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's a 2. Amazing.
Nice. Okay, so I usually use wisdom for like awareness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so you notice, or you hear a sound coming from the as you're picking stuff off the table. You hear a sound from the bedroom, and you can kind of see. You can't see the whole scene, but you can see a little bit through the angle that you're standing into the bedroom, and you can see that the woman on the bed starts kind of like convulsing in a really violent way.
Okay, I'm gonna. So I go to her, and now Skunk is streaming without a hands. It's gonna be hard to ask him questions. Let's see.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna roll here to see if he is able to maintain consciousness.
Okay.
Okay, he actually is. He's like, you know, it looks like he's on the verge of passing out, but he's still kind of. He's now not screaming. He's more whimpering.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go see him, and then I'm gonna grab one of the Geist doses. I don't know if they're caplets or what. I'm gonna kneel next to Skunk, and I'll give you this if you tell me how to save the woman's life. She's having an overdose. I figure it might help him with the pain, you know.
He's like, that's not an overdose. That's what it does. She's on Geist. And at that point, you see her kind of like slightly levitate out of the bed and, you know, kind of vibrating. Her eyes open, and you can see like literal like red, almost beams of light come out of her eyes, and she kind of hovers there for a second, and it looks like she starts to kind of like jerkily sit up.
Oh my god. What does Geist do?
He says, I don't really understand it. Some people it seems to affect poorly. They have violent reactions. And
yeah.
Okay, at that point, hold on, I'm wiping off my screen here. It got just sunny enough to show me all the dust on the screen. So yeah, she starts to sit up, and you hear that she's like murmuring something under her breath as she's, you know, kind of coming to. Her eyes are blazing red. She sits up jerkily, and she's saying that strange phrase that you were hearing when you were under the effects of the drug yourself. She's saying, "Take my smile, young thing. The world ends bloody." And you can see as she's saying that the sides of her mouth slowly raise into a sinister-looking smile, and and she kind of eventually, as she sits up, you see her kind of like look. She jerks her head quickly and looks directly at you across the room, and starts to stand up. She at the moment she's unarmed and everything, and she's just wearing like a really kind of shitty, tattered nightgown. All right, so what are you gonna do?
So I'm gonna stand up and basically ignore. Although I make sure not to leave the guys next to him. I kind of throw it away like fur. I stand up and just like ignore Skunk from one step forward, and so there's the language of shadows, and this is like in this world. That's basically just a supernatural language. Like if someone is not like if they're able to communicate and kind of like that weird alignment language that some settings have.
Yep.
So I'm gonna ask in the language of shadows, can you understand me?
That's awesome. She replies in a voice that sounds deeper than it looks like it fits the frame of this woman. She's like, "Yes, my child." The voice still, it sounds the way I did it was a little more growly, but there is a feminine air to it. But that's what she says. Yeah.
What is your intention here?
She just starts walking towards you. She says, "The world ends bloody. The world ends bloody." And she starts, coming at you in what looks like kind of a menacing, threatening manner.
So
and you hear suddenly Skunk kind of speaks up. He's like, "Cat, no, he's dangerous. Stay away from him, Cat." And she just like walking. It's like she doesn't even hear him.
Skunk, you have a drug that possesses people. Your drug allows spirits to enter people's bodies. That's what I figure. And just look at him and just give a little head shake, and I'll try not to kill her. So, okay, this is really, oh wow, this is, okay.
All right, so at that point, the woman kind of just something snaps, and she shrieks, and it's like this ungodly, like a siren-like wailing, like this, but also deep and growly and sort of demonic sounding, and with almost like supernatural kind of, dexterity, she like leaps across the bedroom. And actually, let's see. Okay, yeah, she actually lands on Skunk, and she just starts. At first, she punches him. He flails back. Blood splatters from his hand that's been cut off, and with one hand and strength that is far beyond someone of her frame, she grabs his neck and just starts strangling him with one hand, while with her other hand she turns towards you and just kind of points. And she says, "The world ends bloody." And he's just choking. And so, yeah, what are you going to do?
So if this was a more abandoned place, I would actually just leave. Because, okay, if Skunk dies, big deal. And that woman will eventually get off the effects of the drug, I'm guessing. But because it's an apartment building with other people in it, and yet I can just start hacking away at that woman because my thinking is she's possessed.
Right.
With that drug. So now the guy starts to make sense.
Another potential complication is that, or at least aspect of this, is that, and I think the Hound is keenly aware of this, that the building is, kind of under the control or under the protection of the La Fuerza gang. So at least, a lot of the people around here are probably associated with the gang. So I don't know if that.
But I still saw like old people at the beginning. I think
oh yeah, there are definitely normal civilians that have nothing to do with any of that here as well. So
Yeah.
it's a complicated situation here. But all right, so she basically in a relatively small amount of time. You don't know if she breaks his neck or does something, but he just like stops moving and kind of shudders a little bit. And at that point, she leaps towards you, and we're gonna roll initiative.
Okay, very well. I think I know what I'll do. I'm gonna again be giving. What's kind of funny is I know what I'm gonna be doing, but yeah, that's gonna be something for you to judge in OSR rules how we do
Okay.
this.
No
But
problem.
yeah, initiative, very well. I got 4.
Okay, that's you first. So you kick into initiative as she's like basically flying through the air towards you.
Okay. So what I want to do is when she flies towards me, I want to kind of like welcome that flying tackle, whatever you want to call it. Go to the ground with her, and do you know what an armbar is?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my idea. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do all 4 limbs right away, and this is going to be really freaking nasty, but it'll keep her alive unless in that position she can like repair the limbs. I'm going to proceed to break like both arms, and then like I'll go to a knee bar and break both legs. It's really nasty.
Okay.
I don't want to do that to her, but I don't know what else to do. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it'll.
I have no idea how you want to handle this rules wise. This is. I know we're not playing MMA the RPG or something like that, but
we'll keep it pretty simple. So I'll effectively it's going to be like a grapple to start off with. So just make an opposed attack roll.
Okay. That's I got a 7.
Okay, so she got a 10. So and in this case, your 2 attacks are not going to apply. Although by your hound instincts, by looking at her, you think that she should fall into the category of your one-hit die opponent that would be easy to take out. But apparently, in her possessed state, she's possessed of some more power. So anyway, so she jumps at you, and you try to basically sweep her to the ground and go for an arm bar.
Yeah, I figure almost like I figure I would handle almost like kind of like when wrestlers grab someone, kind of go like from almost like Zangief, I guess, like backwards because if the person jumping at me, I guess it makes sense to kind of like rotate with it and just bring her to the ground.
Okay, so given that was a fail, what's going to happen is she jumps at you. You go to try to grab her, and basically she just lands kind of more or less squarely on top of you, and both of you fly back and land on the coffee table that you were just looting, smashing the coffee table and sending bits of debris flying here and there. And again, she shrieks with this kind of guttural sound. And so she's now she's on top of you. She's basically in mount, and she starts. This is a very MMA sort of thing. And, so
it's how people fight, though, I guess.
So. It's true. Yeah, there's a reason. Anyway, so she starts. She's not like punching you. She's like clawing
and slash.
Yeah, exactly. She's clawing at your face with her.
Okay.
She's got like, cyberpunk long artificial fingernails. They're not like claws exactly, but they're close enough for a civilian. So she's gonna make her attack.
Okay.
And we got a natural 20.
Oh, just one thing, and yeah, this is very convenient for me to say, as you say, this is a natural 20, but if I have 2 attacks on her, that first attack failed, and I understand that she lands on top, but do I still get a second action because she's 1 hit die or less, or is she now considered more than that because of the
Exactly.
Position?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
More than that. Okay.
You think, she's stronger and more potent than she should.
Very well. So natural 20, and
so her first attack hits. Her second attack does not. So
I'm gonna actually avoid that. I'm gonna spend a point of juice to avoid that 20.
All right. So as
I don't want that.
So you see her coming to kind of slash you across the face or throat or something. Everything goes in slow motion, and you kind of at the last second move your head, and she literally like scratches a chunk out of the crappy carpeting that's below you. It's like kind of a dingy shag carpet type of stuff below you. All right, so that happens, and then her second attack, she slashes again. This time, you kind of roll out of mount, and you roll to the side, and so you're basically both kind of half on your knees, right by each other, and that's new initiative. So roll your d6 again.
3.
3. Okay, that's her first.
Okay. I'm gonna make a crappy Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu joke. We're both on the floor on our knees. Do we like slap fist bump first?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's it. I just lost a lot of people there with that joke. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so yeah, that's basically the position you're in, and
and I'm always like, a fight doesn't start on the knees, you know. Like I'm always like a big believer in like starting standing up when I practice, and now I'm like starting at the knees, kind of funny. Okay,
right.
let's go.
All right, so she grabs one of the table legs from the smashed coffee table and just kind of tries to smash you across the face with it.
Okay.
And the first swing, you duck your head back, she misses, and the second swing actually connects, unless you spend a point of juice here. It's not a critical; it's just a normal hit.
I'm still gonna spend it because I have 7 hit points left. So I'm gonna spend it. Yeah.
That's probably wise. Okay, so as that one comes, everything goes into slow motion, and you duck under the second attack. All right, and then it's your turn.
Okay, so when I had established that I was holding my sword and the gun. When she tackled me, my intention to break her arm and all that, I did drop both my weapons. So what I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna. She still has the piece of wood, so she's swinging it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna waste time with that. So I'm just gonna again, I'm gonna try to tackle her and again try to bring her to the ground for an armbar.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So same thing. It's an opposed roll here. Ooh, you might have a good chance on this one. She only rolled an 8.
Oh, that's a 15 on the die.
All right, so that's gonna you're gonna lunge forward and get to kind of a a takedown position, or you basically set up the armbar there, and let's go ahead and just have you like roll unarmed damage for that, and
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Got a 3 + 2.
Okay, and given that your specific intent is to try to break her arm quickly, let me see.
Actually, I didn't ask you. I've been adding the strength bonus to the damage. Is that something you do, or because it depends, right? Depends on
strength bonus to damage. I usually do. A lot of times I run LOTFP, which doesn't actually add.
Exactly. That's why I was just thinking about that.
Yeah. But I for years and years have always done it that way. So I have no problem with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. So how much damage did you do again?
5 in total.
5. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's going to be plenty. So you whip into an armbar, you pull it, and there's a sickening crack as her arm twists. And she doesn't like wince. She doesn't scream. She doesn't react to it at all. She's just like, arm broken. And let's see. Then it's new initiative because she went first that round.
Yeah. Let's see. The 4.
All right, that's you.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm gonna try to move to the leg next.
Okay. So same roll as before. Ooh, yeah, another good chance. You got an 8 again.
Okay. Should I start with the legs? What's wrong with me? Okay. 19.
All right. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. I think maybe it's gonna be such a stupid reason, but like when people die for the legs, they kind of sometimes they kind of have to go like upside down, and maybe visually that didn't fit for a Crimson Hound with the cape on the floor. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not so good. That's 3 in total. Got a 1 on the die.
Okay. 3 total. All right. So let's see. All right. Yeah. I'm going to say that's going to be a leg snap as well. So again, she doesn't really react, but you can see that you effectively disabled her frame at the moment. She's still kind of wriggling, but she can't. She's trying to get up on one leg. She can't do it.
Got like a whole side now.
Yeah. She's trying to like brace her arm on the floor, and it's just like like it's gross, but she's basically doing what you would do if you were in complete shock and unaware of the injuries that you had and trying to get up. And so, but again, she's not reacting with pain or anything like that. It's just.
I feel really bad for this woman. I feel
Oh
really
yeah,
bad for this woman.
for real.
Yeah. Also, thankfully, because she's possessed, technically, I'm not fighting a human, so I don't have to worry about the whole losing control because it's not a human I'm fighting. You know, technically.
Right. Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
guess.
this is
I
like
don't know how that would work. Anyway.
this whole thing is like an anti-drug PSA or something like that.
Yeah, seriously, it's kind of funny as my character takes more and more drugs.
Right. Okay, so all right, so she's basically writhing on the floor. She's effectively incapacitated at the moment, but she's still shrieking, or not shrieking, but growling and whatnot, and kind of trying to lunge for you, but she can't really do much.
Yeah,
so
she can still crawl and get in trouble. This is gonna sound awful, but I'm actually gonna move on to the other limbs. I just don't want her to get out of the apartment. It's
yeah, it makes sense.
It's not cruel. It's because if she manages to crawl out, who knows? Even if someone reacts to her, or, she might get. I don't know. It's really messed up, but
sure.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's kind of a futuristic thing where broken bones and things like that. It's healable.
Yeah, like Skunk would have probably gotten like some cool cyber hand, you know.
Right.
So.
So there's some degree of strange mercy to it, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you finish her off, and she's now just laying there like a turtle that can't get off its back. Still writhing, still she's still chanting the same phrase about the world ending bloody. Kind of growling at you and whatnot. But yeah, she's effectively taken out.
I look at the door just to make sure is someone watching, because the door was taken down when I shot the guy. So is anyone there watching, or it's still? As I pick up my magic sword and the gun too.
Okay. At the moment, let's see. That's a good question. I forgot that the guy was right outside the door. So I think he actually. Oh, that's right, because you kicked him through. Yeah.
I shot, and you said that he went through the door.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. So no, he's just still laying there. Yeah.
But that guy's totally dead. But I mean, is there anyone? Because there's no door right now. So
right,
there's no one out. The fighting.
There's no one out in the hallway at the moment. Okay. But you do. Hold on one second. Big truck went by. You hear It's still pretty distant, but you hear the sounds of like Vigilari sirens kind of approaching, like in the distance. Still, pretty much a ways away, and you can hear there is some movement and commotion in the hallway, but not directly in your line of sight at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna actually grab the woman by the nightgown, but like this,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say in the language of shadows, let her go. You lost. You don't need this buddy right now.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
Yeah. I just told him let her go. You lost. You don't need this buddy right now. It's useless to you.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. She responds by projectile spitting in your face, and it's just and just kind of growls and whatnot. And she says, she just repeats her phrase. She says, "Take my smile, young thing. Take my smile." And she's still grinning awfully as she's laying there with all her limbs contorted and broken and whatnot. She's still grinning like she's having a good time.
Yeah. I say, yes, the world ends bloody, I know. So I just sheathed the sword, took away the gun, and I'm gonna have a look at what's the window, what's beyond the window. Might be a good escape route at this point, depending on what I see.
Okay, looking out, you can see that there are. It's just a relatively small window, but you can see outside. It looks like there is a fire escape on this building. It's I think we established before that the slum scraper is kind of like this, improvised structure that's all kinds of different things cobbled together. So it's not like a particularly coherent fire escape, but there are, effectively a few platforms and ladders and stuff that could be used to climb down. Now, it's not directly outside of this window, but it looks like it could maybe be accessed out like through somewhere nearby, like maybe there's a way to get to it through the hallway or something.
Yeah.
Also, again, it's still foggy. It's still night out, and the fog is still kind of neon and flickery and whatnot. You don't see any evidence of movement or anything in the alley below you. You do notice that in the part of the slum scraper that is, or like an adjacent building, it wouldn't be the slum scraper itself, but there's an adjacent building that's in similar condition. And you can see that right around the floor that you're on, there's several windows that have lights on, as if perhaps they've been, they've heard all this commotion going on over here. Although you would know from this area that like this kind of commotion would definitely, it would spark interest, but it's not like it's uncommon for this sort of thing to be heard around here, gunshots and screaming and that kind of thing. So, so anyway, yeah, that's what you see. And what are you going to do?